In a surprise move, HSBC proposes a 100 billion buyout of Hang Seng Bank that would draw the curtains on the local bank's half-century listing status. Israel and Hamas agreed to first phase of Gaza peace plan brokered by the US. And Hungarian novelist Laszlo Krasznahorkai has been given a Nobel Prize in literature. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yang. HSBC Holdings plans to spend some $100 billion to take its local subsidiary Hang Seng Bank private and delist it from the local bourse, after the near-century-old bank has been publicly traded in the city for more than 50 years. The global banking giant stressed that the deal has nothing to do with a bad debt situation. Best Learn reports.
In a surprising move, HSBC announced its plan to buy out Hang Seng Bank, in which it currently owns about 63% stake, and to make the local bank its wholly owned subsidiary. The price was set at $155 apiece in cash, a premium of about 30% over Hang Seng's closing price on Wednesday. Once completed, publicly listed shares of Hang Seng would be cancelled. The move came amid the local bank's exacerbating commercial real estate debt, which saw its second quarter credit-impaired loans soar 85% from a year earlier. But HSBC brushed off the bad debt situation as the reason behind the deal, saying it is an attractive offer in any sense and that it demonstrates the bank's commitment to the economy of Hong Kong.
So, Annabelle, this has nothing to do with the, bad debt situation. It's very much an investment for growth. This is a medium to long-term investment for HSBC in what is a fantastic brand in Hong Kong, in the market, Hong Kong itself, in a market where growth has been very strong. It demonstrates through this significant investment, it demonstrates our commitment to the economy of Hong Kong.
Co-Chief Executive of Asia and Middle East, David Lau, stressed the deal would not affect the group's dividend payout this year. Meanwhile, the lender plans to refrain from share buybacks in the coming 3 quarters. The deal, if approved, is expected to be completed in the first half of next year. Hang Seng Bank, which traces its establishment to Hang Seng Ngan Ho in 1933 and was sold to HSBC in 1965 after a bank run, will retain its brand and branch network after going private. Best Learn Cable News.
The government maintains a prudent stance in the new land sale program, with only one residential site in Jordan Valley to be released in the 3rd quarter of the fiscal year. Development Chief Bernadette Ling is optimistic that the plot will receive favorable responses. Located on Choi Hing Road and to be put up for tender this quarter, the plot is projected to yield 570 units. Secretary for Development Bernadette Ling expressed optimism in the successful sale of the plot, as market response to recently released land parcels, which were also not overly large and located in established neighborhoods, has been quite favorable. Meanwhile, additional land sources include Phase 1 of MTR's Tuen Mun District 16 station, as well as 8 private and redevelopment projects, expected to provide 1,280 and 4,570 flats, respectively, bringing the quarter's private housing supply to 6,420 units. Adding to the supplies from the first 2 quarters, a total of 12,430 units will be expected for the first 3 quarters of the fiscal year, accounting for about 94% of the annual supply target. A record-breaking 6 local institutions have been listed among the top 200 universities globally in Times Higher Education's latest rankings, driven by improvements in teaching reputation and student-to-staff ratios. Hong Kong remains the only city in the world with 5 universities in the global top 100. Cheryl Yun has more details on the achievements.
More good news for Hong Kong's universities as the city strengthens its position as a global education hub. According to Times Higher Education, a leading global benchmark for university rankings, all of Hong Kong's ranked institutions climbed higher this year. The city's top-ranked institution, the University of Hong Kong, rose 2 places to 33rd globally. The Chinese University of Hong Kong advanced 3 spots to 41st, while the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology made a leap of 8 places to 58th. Other institutions are also closing the gap with their global peers. City University of Hong Kong climbed 3 places, and the Hong Kong Polytechnic University moved up 1 spot. The Education University of Hong Kong gained significant global recognition, entering the rankings for the first time at 195th. Hong Kong Baptist University and Lingnan University also saw improved rankings. For the first time, all 8 of Hong Kong's public universities were included in the rankings. The Education Bureau highlighted that these achievements reflect the government's commitment to investing in education, expressing optimism that Hong Kong's education sector will enter a golden era in the coming decade, fueled by the nation's rapid educational development. Turning to the world leaders, topping the list is the University of Oxford, followed by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Princeton University and the University of Cambridge are tied for 3rd place. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
An ombudsman probe reviewed unnecessary obstacles in applications for publicly funded respite services that aim to support burdened carers, some of whom may be in urgent need. The watchdog urged the Social Welfare Department to streamline application procedures and make other improvements. Jamie Liu reports.
The direct investigation looked into respite services managed by SWD and operated by non-government organizations, private care homes, or daycare units. These services can give carers a break they need from looking after their elderly or disabled loved ones to relieve stress and prevent burden. The Ombudsman found that average usage rates remained persistently low, with only 50 to 60% for elderly services and even lower at 10 to 20% for disability support. Some providers and districts even recorded as low as 0 usage. Investigators posing as carers found that some providers would selectively admit applicants and ask for in-person interviews and home visits. Some even require service applicants to undergo additional medical examinations, such as X-rays and mental health checks, at their own expense.
These additional requirements have already created unnecessary obstacles and financial burdens for the carers.
Ombudsman Jack Chan emphasized that these providers are funded by government money and therefore should provide reasonable service for the public. His office made 25 recommendations to overhaul respite services, including simplifying application procedures through phone or video assessments. The SWD has welcomed the report and is actively following up on all recommendations, some of which have already been implemented. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
In a major breakthrough in the 2-year-old war in Gaza, Israel and Hamas have agreed to pause fighting and release hostages, the first phase of United States President Donald Trump's peace plan. Trump said the hostages are likely to be freed on Monday and hinted at a possible visit to the Middle East this weekend. Jimmy Liu reports.
In central Tel Aviv, families of hostages and their supporters celebrated the long-awaited ceasefire deal with singing and dancing.
Thank you, Trump! Thank you, USA! We love you! We love you! They're smart, but they're not.
The sign of progress came during a White House roundtable when Trump received an urgent note from Marco Rubio.
Okay. I'm just given. I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East.
The Associated Press captured a text that read, "You need to approve a Truth Social post soon so you can announce deal first." Trump then announced the agreement on social media, followed by separate confirmations from Israel and Hamas, which held 3 days of indirect talks in Egypt, joined by Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, Middle East Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and negotiators from Qatar and Turkey. According to Trump, under the first phase deal, all hostages, alive and dead, will be released soon while Israel will withdraw its troops to an agreed-upon line. However, he did not address some sticking points in the proposal, including Hamas disarmament and the future governance of Gaza. AP reported that Hamas plans to release all 20 living hostages this weekend in exchange for Palestinian prisoners, while Israeli forces will move out of 70% of Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described the breakthrough as a historic achievement. Hamas called on Trump and mediators to ensure Israel implements all the provisions in the agreement. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Hungarian novelist Laszlo Krasznahorkai was awarded this year's Nobel Prize in Literature. Jamie Liu reports.
The Swedish Academy said the 71-year-old writer is recognized for his compelling and visionary oeuvre that, in the midst of apocalyptic terror, reaffirms the power of art. Krasznahorkai was born in Hungary in 1954. Often described as postmodern, he is known for his long, winding sentences, dystopian and melancholic themes. The award body described him as a great epic writer in the Central European tradition that extends through Kafka to Thomas Bernhard. He first made his mark with his 1985 debut novel, Satan Tango, which portrays a collapsing rural community. His career has also been shaped by travel, including journeys to East Asia, particularly China, Mongolia, and Japan. His 2003 novel titled A Mountain to the North, A Lake to the South, Pass to the West, A River to the East drew inspiration from Kyoto. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index closed 76 points lower. Top active stocks of the day: Alibaba was down $4.30. SMIC was down $6. HSBC was down $6.60, while Hang Seng Bank was up $30.80. The government's flagship Office for Attracting Strategic Enterprises has unveiled its fifth and largest batch of firms, a diverse group of 18 global players headlined by 3 of the world's top 10 pharmaceutical giants and the influential mainland social media platform RedNote, or better known as Xiaohongshu. The new arrivals include British-based GSK, Switzerland's Roche, and Germany's Merck, significantly boosting the city's life sciences sector. U.S. digital content firm Vobile and mainland social media and e-commerce platform Xiaohongshu were also among the firms announced. The company signed partnership agreements with the Oasis in a ceremony today. Addressing the event, Financial Secretary Paul Chen called the diverse new cohort an important milestone.
We are welcoming cultural and creative enterprises that integrate technology with artistry and entertainment. This is an initiative announced in this year's budget, and I'm delighted to see it coming to reality.
This fifth batch of companies pushes the total number of firms brought in by the office past the 100 mark. Together, they are expected to inject over $60 billion in investment and create around 22,000 jobs. GSK highlighted the strategic importance of the move.
The joining here as a strategic enterprise of Oasis signals our expansion and also our commitment to kind of enhance our operations here, both in commercially as well as in the evidence generation space. This represents actually our investment here in Hong Kong, using its infrastructure, furthering and ensuring that we are able to access the databases, to be able to kind of sync up Hong Kong's data as well as mainland or GBA data, that would then be able to accelerate both medical innovation into Hong Kong and also potentially into mainland China as well.
On to the weather now. Mainly fine, hot and dry during the day. Temperatures will range between 28 and 32 degrees. And that's our news tonight. I'm Quentin Yang. Thank you for watching. Good night.